everyone, I'm Bree. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk with you about some of the 2019 romance releases that I have not read. In the beginning half of 2019, I tried to jump on the bandwagon and put forth more effort to read romance releases as soon as they were coming out. In the past, reading new releases as soon as they are released just typically wasn't my thing. I've been more of a person that likes to wait for the hype to die down. I feel like it's both a reader and a reviewer. If I'm reading a book when everyone is talking about it, it's hard to not like read the book and have that bias already in your mind. I have experienced that firsthand quite a few times of just so happening to like be on Goodreads and see somebody's review as you're reading the book, and it's just like stuck in your mind. And for me personally, it does tend to waive my reading experience. So I just really try to wait a little bit, but it doesn't always happen that way. And I am trying to do better at reading new releases, but not necessarily just basically avoiding other people's reviews until I'm finished with the book. But this stack that I have are all ones that I've been excited for, and now that the end of the year is upon us, I just look back and I'm like, I can't believe that I haven't read that book yet. The first one is The Kingmaker, and this is by Kennedy Ryan. Recently, I was listening to the most recent episode of the Fated Mates podcast, which is their episode talking about their favorites of 2019, and this was actually a favorite of Sarah McLean's for the year, and she said something that was totally spot on. She just basically said that no one is writing important romances like Kennedy Ryan is at the moment, and I just know that I'm going to love this book because I have felt that way while I was reading her Grip series. I just felt like she, on top of it being a romance, she just incorporated so many important issues and conversation starters, and I know that that is going to be the experience that I have with this book. Reviewers and readers that I really trust have already read it and have loved it. My friend Stephanie, my friend Lacey, they have both read it and they both really enjoyed it, and I know I'm going to love it. The next one is Not the Girl You Marry, and this is by Andie J. Christopher. I haven't read this one, and I will say that I haven't read it because the reviews that I have been seeing about it haven't necessarily been so good. I am like basing my reading experience off of what other people are saying, and I know this is not a good thing, but it has been multiple kind of iffy reviews on it. So this is one that I'm intentionally going to just wait a little bit. I'll kind of advertise as this gender reversed How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, which is a movie that I absolutely loved once upon a time. Next is One Summer in Paris, and this is by Sarah Morgan. Remember when this came out, I just wasn't really in the mood to pick it up. I don't know how much of this is more women's fiction. It definitely sounds like more of the emphasis on the story is on the friendship, but it does follow a heroine that I believe is married. She takes a trip to Paris alone, so I'm really interested in this story. I just remember when it came out, I wasn't really in the mood to read it, and unfortunately A Wedding in December has come out and I've already read that release. Why haven't I read this one yet? I know that I'm going to love it. I really love Sarah Morgan's women's fiction and romance novels. It's crazy that I haven't read this yet because Sarah Morgan's standalones tend to be absolutely 5-star reads for me. Twice in a Blue Moon by Christina Lauren. I actually picked this one up as an ARC at my library way back in July or August. I was shocked. My library tends to have really good ARCs just on the shelf that they're like, here, take them. So I was like, absolutely, I will grab this. And my librarian was like, if you enjoy it, let me know, and I will definitely make sure that I order a few copies for the library. And now that it's actually released, I've been seeing reviews where people just aren't really enjoying it. I don't know if we're just coming to kind of expect and love more of Christina Lauren's romantic comedies. In my opinion, there are a lot of romance authors who published multiple books throughout the year, and it totally works. One of the authors in this stack is the prime example of that. But in their case, I'm just really questioning how much of they'll have a release that's really popular. The Unhoneymooners, for example, people really loved, which came out before this, and then a few months later you are releasing this one and it's kind of a dud. So I'm just wondering if it's rushing to put stuff out and not necessarily giving it the time and dedication that it deserves. I will probably read this one for myself so that I can form my own opinion, but based off of the reviewers that have read it, that I really trust their opinion, I'm just not really excited at the moment. This one is crazy because it was my most anticipated fall release, and that is the Bromance Book Club by Lyssa K. Adams. This book is basically everywhere, and I haven't seen any negative reviews on it at this point. People are loving it, so I don't know what my problem is. I even had the audiobook checked out for 21 days and did not budge to read it. I think it's just in my mind, I have hyped this book up so much that it's just kind of making me a little nervous, and I'm a little intimidated because I don't want to be disappointed. So many of my disappointing reads were ones that I was very, very excited about. Love on Lexington Avenue by Lauren Layne. This is part of her Central Park Pack series. I absolutely loved the first book. In the first book, our three heroines meet. They've basically been sleeping with the same gentleman who recently passed away. One of them was was actually his wife. All of the books in the trilogy are going to follow these women as they basically move on with their lives and find new love. I feel like I'm really going to love this book, and I need to get on it because the third book releases very early in 2020. But I'm cutting myself some slack on because it is more of a new release, and that is Would Like to Meet by Rachel Winters. I'm so excited about this one. It follows a heroine who has to convince this like screenwriter to write a romantic comedy, but he just does not believe that they sell and they do really well. And I knew nothing about this book until my friend Lyssa from Remarkably Lyssa talked about it on her channel. I'll try to find the video that she talked about it in and leave it linked down below, but it sounds really good. I'm cutting myself some slack again because this is a new release. I was so excited when I saw Lyssa talking about it, and I just so happened to go to Barnes & Noble like 3 or 4 days later, and out of the corner of my eye, there it was, and I was like, I have to get it. Next is Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. My friend Nell from Bookish Nell over on Instagram, I'll leave a link to her page down below. She actually sent me her copy in the mail, and this one, I feel like I'm absolutely gonna love it. I don't know why I didn't just pick it up and devour it as soon as it arrived in the mail. I keep hearing how wonderful the representation is. It is an interracial romance, and it follows a heroine who lives with a chronic illness, and I'm always excited to read from someone whose like daily life experience is different from mine, to get some kind of insight and help me understand a little bit more. So I don't know why I haven't read this one yet. And these last ones are from a favorite author of mine, and that is Maisey Yeates. These three right here. This one, Cowboy Christmas Redemption, is on my holiday romance binge. I need to read this one. It is a holiday romance. However, I have not read Lone Wolf Cowboy, which was the release prior to this one. My girl Maisey Yeates publishes quite a few books throughout the year, and she does it so wonderfully. I don't know how she does it. I also have, like, I guess it's a spin-off of the series, so these are part of her Gold Valley series. This is the Gold Valley Vineyard series, and this is Rancher's Wild Secret, and I just recently checked the audiobook out for this via Scribd. I think I'm going to start with this one because I have the audiobook downloaded, and then backtrack and read these. I will probably read this one before I read this one. Hopefully I won't be totally confused, but I started this series completely out of order and it's fine. So yeah, I cannot believe that I have not read these three yet. Let me know down in the comments below what 2019 release you were super excited for and have yet to pick up. Spill the tea. I am totally ready. And if you've read any of these and you feel like I should absolutely make them a priority and try to read them before the end of the year, let me know that as well. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in my next video. Have a good day. Bye.
Makes no difference if it's sweet or hot.